And we are back. Welcome back to the Boys Experience podcast, where me, the host, Ghost, or Aaron, or Danny, um, talk with my friends, aka Dakota, who is here with me today. Who's also pretty much
I
a
feel
regular
like
co-host.
the way you introduced that is poor. We're both the host. How dare you?
That's true. Me and Dakota are the host. To be
There
honest
we
with
go.
you, we came
Better.
up with the idea equally, and we are both the host. So today, as you can tell, we are playing New World. Um, we've been hyping up this game for the past couple of months. I would say it's met our expectations, and even more than that. From questing to leveling to just having a game to vibe on, it's been super fun. Um, I think companies add a little bit of spice to it. Our server specifically, which is Pauruli, um, has had a little bit of an argument with the syndicates have been going back and forth lately, but it's gonna happen in an MMO. So, but Dakota, let's hear from you. What's your thoughts so far on New World as you've played it with me for the past week or so?
Uh, in general, or what you were just talking about with like.
Just if you want to, you can. If you want to, you can do in general. But I mean, I prefer you to go in depth. You hit us with all the details, bro.
Well, let's see. I still think. Uh, so we talked about how we played the beta in previous episodes or whatever. I don't remember exactly what was said in the episodes that we were talking about playing the beta. But I'm pretty sure at some point we mentioned that the life staff seemed to be pretty OP busted at the time. And I would still say that the life staff is by far top 2 weapons to use in this game.
Yeah,
I don't know. I assume you would agree with that as well.
I can agree with
uh, which, I mean, I see why, because it's the only weapon that provides healing.
Yeah,
Like some of the other weapons have like life steal healing, like when you're damaging enemies, you get health back for a portion of damage you deal and stuff like that. But that's self healing. There's nothing else that has uh, like any group healing abilities. Uh, and if they do, they're not nearly anywhere close to being useful. So, uh, I mean, that's really my only main issue with the weapons at all that I've had so far, is that the life staff is the only option for any type of healing, and it's pretty much mandatory uh, for at least one person in the group to use. I feel like they should have made at least. I feel like they did a pretty good job of making 2 of everything, except in the scenario of
healing.
the of the healing stuff, because like magical DPS items, there's 2 of them. You can choose between ice gauntlet, you can choose between fire staff, right?
Right.
uh, for strength weapons, like big 2-handed strength weapons, you can choose between hammer, you can choose between the great axe, right? For uh, like one-handed strength weapons, you can choose hatchet, you can choose sword. For the ranged weapons, you can choose bow, you can choose musket. Uh, for the like dexterity melee weapons, you can choose spear, you can choose rapier. But for healing, you can only choose life staff. So I feel like that's my only complaint with the weapons right now. I don't know if you have any complaints about weapons or anything like that, but
I do. Not in general with the life staff. I do agree with you though. I feel that there should be more than one healing weapon, whether that be another staff. I feel like they could have created more of a healing gauntlet. Or I don't know what else you would create, because then you'd have to create another whole weapon class for healing, and I feel like that's not
Mhm.
necessary either. So I feel like maybe a healing gauntlet in the future would be nice to see, and it be based mainly on focus, just like the life staff. Something I do want to talk about though, weapon wise, is the I believe it's the Great Hatchet is what it's called, or Great Axe. There you go. That
The
thing
great act.
has an ability that's so ridiculous, and I don't know if you know about it.
Is it the Rift one? Is that what you're gonna say?
N- No, it's called Gravity Well.
Yeah, the rift thing. Yeah,
Oh,
you hit the air and it creates that little rift in the air and it pulls people in.
yep, that's Gravity Well. That
Yep.
that thing in especially War is completely busted.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it,
I was using it in the beta a little bit.
yeah, in War it's completely busted. It's not really balanced. And I hope they do something about that because it's like if somebody has a gravity well, like if say you have a whole squad in War rocking gravity well, that's like 5 people, right? That's
Hmm.
5 people you instantly have to worry about because quite literally the gravity well is so good that there's no reason to like not use it. It's
Yeah,
almost like the life staff. Like you pretty much if you are a lot of tanks are rocking the gravity well right now with the great axe. Um, and I can't blame them because if something's really ridiculous in a MMO, I'm gonna use it. Like that's why I'm
yeah.
using the life staff now.
There is a another ability that you can pair pretty well with that. I believe it's on the same side as the gravity well one, but it's called like rend or something. I don't remember. But basically, you can upgrade it to give it farther reach. I think it's like 7 meters or something. Uh, Basically, for like 7 meters or something, it might be five. It's like 5 or 7, something like that. 5 to 7 meters in front of you when you use it. Anyone that gets hit by it gets pulled back to you. So you can do that and then gravity well and trap them there.
Really,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Okay, I didn't know that ability existed.
Yep.
That's on top of that. That's just it goes to show you like there's a few weapon builds that I feel are slept on at the moment. They won't be sooner or later because we all know that, especially with MMOs, it all gets out eventually. Um, Especially with New World, there hasn't been a lot of. I haven't seen like a dedicated content creator channel that I think is like really good to the point and easy to follow. But the second I do find something like that, then I'm sure that will cause everyone to just kind of swarm to the builds that that person has.
Oh yeah. I'm sure once everyone gets like max weapon levels and like once they get like higher into the like once someone has the ability to fully like their max level and they can fully like get like 300 strength or whatever and they have max level like great axe for example, then they can be like, well, with max strength, max great axe, this is the best build path, and then everyone's probably going to go for that specific build path or whatever, right? It's the
Right.
same thing with like it happens in like World of Warcraft and stuff, like um and I'm sure it happens in other MMOs and stuff, but like if you're not like someone will be like looking for uh like healer and then like specific name of the healer build that they want. And if you're not running that build, even if you're a healer with a different build, they won't take you because it's not the meta build, right? So, uh, uh, and you might heal like 20 health per second less than the other build or whatever. So they don't want you because it's the worst build.
Well, I hope that it doesn't become like that. I know that there's games where it has become like that, and not fun, obviously, to deal with for um everyone. Really, I feel like everybody can agree
Uh-huh.
that that's just not fun to deal with. And
Yeah.
I personally definitely know the feeling of being left out because of Destiny and Galahorn. If you didn't have Galahorn, good luck trying to do a raid. Uh, that was literally that that was the first year of Destiny 1 in a nutshell. So, know the feeling of being locked out of events because I don't have a certain weapon or certain skill tree unlocked that other people would have. And I hope that they can change that to balance that. Um, yeah, I hope that they could change it and balance it like that.
Yeah.
Another thing, another big complaint of mine. Actually, it's not really a complaint. I saw other people talking about it in chat. Um, just the balancing of factions. I don't know if they should be allowed to interfere with that. I feel they shouldn't, but then they should. I don't know about you, but like I've had
Uh,
I've seen some issues. I see why there's a cry for balancing for factions, but I can also see why that's argued against because of how because of people wanting to play with each other in the same faction, and then say there's a balancing thing, and then you get put in a different faction. You're like, oh wait, what the fuck? You know?
yeah. Um, the only thing I could say, like, about like faction balancing or anything like that is like maybe limit how much of the map one faction can have control of. But
So
even then,
maybe
like, if that faction has been doing everything to get that much control of the map, I feel like at the same time they should
they should
have
be
that
allowed
control of
to
the map, right? So is I mean that's kind of the thing with balancing anything at all ever,
in an
right?
MMO,
Well,
especially.
any game, no, but yeah, I guess especially in MMO because like you don't want to not reward the work that people put in, but at the same time you don't want the work that they put in to be over rewarded, so you have to find the middle ground. But yeah, like for example, green on our map probably has half of the map alone by themselves, right?
Oh yeah,
uh, the Marauder faction. So I mean that's a thing in its own, right, or whatever, to be thought about.
yeah, definitely an annoying thing. But at the same time, I feel like they don't ever get off. So like, do they kind of
Yeah,
deserve it in a sense?
yeah,
They play the game so consistent. But at the same time, it's annoying because there's other players that just can't play the game consistently. But then there's the argument of don't play a fucking MMO if you can't play the game
yeah, but
consistently.
that's a bad argument.
It is a shit argument, but people are gonna make that argument. So
It's not a casual game. It's a
yeah,
grindy game.
people are gonna make that argument all the time in games in their history. But yeah, I was kind of interested to see what you felt on that side of the ball because I know that I'm kind of like I don't know how to really feel about limiting factions or limiting in a certain way to where it balances it out. Oh, it's a lot of it's a big thought process, honestly. That I don't know how Amazon's going to do it. Which, by the way, another issue that me and Dakota have had, especially with this MMO in particular, is the queue times. But we also realize
Oh,
that they did not expect this game to blow up like it did. So
yeah, which
that
whatever you want to say about it, but
yeah,
the only thing that I can say about that is at least it's an Amazon game, and Amazon has probably one of the largest server databases in
they have
anywhere in
unlimited
the world.
resources.
So I think we've talked about this before. Amazon's
Hmm.
basically a fucking, they own literally anything. They can do whatever they want. They have so much money. Uh, but uh, so that's like the thing that I'm at least excited about for the whole like queue times and everything, is that they have the resources to be able to upgrade server like limits to accommodate more people and add more worlds. Like they've already added more worlds like
Yeah,
a few days after launch when they were like,
and they've
we
talked
have
about
more
upping
people.
the server limits too.
Yeah, well, uh, I think they said they are. I just don't know when they are,
Yeah,
unless they already did. I
they
know they
said in a
added the
few
new
weeks' time. They said in a few weeks' time for server limits, and then they said that they immediately added new worlds as soon as they heard that servers were just completely piling upon each other, or like server queues were piling upon each other, which is a good thing. That's pretty quick response time, which is nice to see. For especially coming from a game like Call of Duty, where the devs and
They
the
didn't
company
listen at
just
all.
they just didn't listen until all of their big players decided to just quit.
Stop playing the game.
Yep. And now they're just like, oh shit, panic mode. But I definitely like the responses that they've been giving out
Yeah,
to players.
that's
That's probably
uh,
the biggest plus, especially with it being Amazon, because like we just said, Amazon has unlimited resources at this point, and if they see something that's earning them business and earning them more money, then they're gonna dump more values into it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They're gonna dump
So
more time, money, all that shit.
that is something I will give at least the Amazon studios that made this game credit on, is that hey, you want to do the corrupted portal and Monarchs both right next to us? Sorry, completely random, but
Oh
just
no,
ask.
yeah, we can.
Okay. I will give them credit for that though, is that they were actually listening and already taking action on things in in their game to better it from what they've, like the feedback they've received and everything. So that's already better than most games at the in the first week of launch, right? And not even the
Oh
first
yeah,
week of launch, actually.
we're just in the first week. This isn't. I think maybe. This is the. I don't remember.
It's the
This
sixth
is
day right
this
now.
is the 6th day, so we're just barely going over a week in the launch, and I've got to say it's been pretty smooth, other than when we tried to join Valhalla and we could not. It was just such
Yeah,
a long
well,
server queue. I kind of
that
expected it.
I
Um,
mean that's the most popular server, unless it's changed, which I doubt. But that's the most popular server in the NA East
this
server
one's
block,
finished, by the
right?
way.
So yeah, I see that. Unfortunate.
Go to the other one that's over in. Oh wait, that one's finished too. Shit. Go
Yeah,
to
it's just
the
a small one.
yeah, just go to the smaller one. But yeah, that's I agree. It had a little bit of a bumpy launch, but I wouldn't say it was completely bumpy, because I feel like half of it could have just been like avoided if players didn't just funnel into one server because
Server,
of a
yeah.
name.
Now the the other thing, well, I guess not the other thing. I probably have a couple other things that I have issue with, uh, but one of the most prominent things that seems to keep happening to me and not really happening to anyone else of you guys that we're playing with is my quests keep randomly, like when I'm in the middle of them or they're literally finished, they will disappear and I will not be able to get, like, even if I go out and completely perform it. Like it's happened to me on at least 6 quests that I've done where I've completed the quest that it wanted me to complete, and then I went back to turn it in, and it would not let me turn the quest in. The quest did not exist. It would not let me do it.
You really
Most
are the only person that I know has this problem too.
And most recently, it just happened earlier today. I was telling Danny about it earlier today. I had a quest to go get some stuff, bring it back to a lady in the town, right? I went, grabbed the stuff she wanted, brought it back to her. The quest disappeared from my inventory. I could not turn it in. But when I talked to her, when I talked to her, it didn't give me the option to turn the quest in or anything. But when I talked to her, she said the quest dialogue, which was, "I really need you to go get these things for me." I don't remember exactly what they were, but she was like, "I need you to get these things
It was
for me."
Flint.
What? It was Flint something something something. It was a couple things. She's like, "I really need you to get uh, the Flint and the Bulrush heads and bring them back to me." Even though I already had them and I had them in my inventory, I still have them in my inventory as quest items. They're listed as quest items in my inventory. And when I talk to her, I cannot, the quest is gone. It will not let me give her my stuff. And it happened to me for some of the uh, syndicate, like faction missions too, uh, where I've completed a couple of those and I go to bring them back and turn them in, and they're not there for me to turn in. So I completely lose out on all the XP, gold, tokens, and all that stuff that I would get otherwise.
Interesting issue, to be honest with you, because it's like, yeah, you are pretty much the only person that I know that has it, and part of me wonders if like it's just something on your end, or if
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense. Why would something on my end mess up the in-game quests?
no, maybe like corrupted files. That'd be my guess is a corrupted file. That's my only
Yeah, but
guess.
the quests are there in the first place, so that doesn't make sense either.
Yeah, and it's an MMO. I don't know. It's just a really weird thing to even, like talk about. Cause like I said, I've not heard anybody else's issue. Because usually when you have an issue, it's happened to at least one other person. But I've not even seen one other person talk about it. So, yeah,
I
it's
haven't either. To be fair, I haven't really been looking at like the in-game chat all that frequently or anything like that. So,
yeah.
but
I do feel that I definitely have been looking at the in-game chat a little less. Just a tad. Yeah. What's another thing? Oh yeah. Uh, something that's feels a little overwhelming in the game is how fast some people have figured out how to level compared to others. The Marauders in our server, as you can see, they are pretty much dominating our server. They level fairly quick. Um, they do things in a way that's just I don't know how they're doing it. I've heard it's from corrupted portal. I've heard it's from certain missions that they're doing in like a sequence, but nothing's like confirmed clearly. And it's just really annoying to have to, you know, I'd love to know how they're grinding out to level 50s. I'm sure they're level 60 by now because they were level 50 last night around this time. So you can
yeah,
only imagine what level they
there's a
are.
couple people that I've seen that are just crazy levels.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know. Like I've seen the highest level syndicate person I've seen is 48. And that is
Just seen a level 47 in chat.
yeah, and that is the highest level I've
47.
seen of a person running by like in front of my character so far. but I haven't been in like the war thing. Like you did one of the war things where
I
they like
did do one of the war
handpick
things.
people to be in the war and stuff like that. Uh, so obviously they're gonna handpick their highest levels with like the best stuff. So
Um,
I
yes
don't.
and
I
no.
mean,
They
at least
they
to a degree.
do, yeah, to a degree. I would agree with that. It's kind of a yes and no thing. I was only a level 28 going into it. We didn't think that there was Marauders at level 50, mind you. We were thinking maybe in the 30s, maybe in the mid 40s, not 50s. We were seeing level 52s, level 53s. I seen the highest I've seen is a 54, and it was it was a Marauder in the war that we were in. And yeah, he completely wrecked us, but for a good reason because he's level 54. Um, but I don't know. It's just it's all about balancing, in my opinion, and it's really hard to balance something that's so new. I guess right now it's ironically new world. This whole shit is new to everybody. How it works. It kind of reminds me of an ESO and or RuneScape. ESO being Elder Scrolls Online, another MMO. It's kind of like a hybrid of that, and it's definitely fun. You know, we've had a shit ton of fun on it. I would say it's probably been the most fun we've had in a minute since we started playing Warzone together. It's
Yeah,
the most fun I've had since Warzone released. I can definitely, I can definitely stand behind that. Um, but I wouldn't say that it doesn't have its flaws because it definitely does. Well, I'm excited to see where they take it, uh, and where they
yeah.
take the game. Um, I don't know. Is there anything you want to cover any more than what we have? Oh, there's something that we can discuss. Is me and Dakota are in the syndicates. Clearly, purple. Uh, but um, our company is Purple People Eaters. They are full at the moment, but usually uh, they're having to remove people constantly. So
Remove people that are doing bad things. I mean,
yeah,
people just leave on their own accord, also at
yeah,
random.
that
But
too. And but if you guys want to join the server, it is Paruli. It is where we decided to reside, and the
like where we had
faction is Syndicate. Well, we decided on it after having to because it was quite literally the only server we could get on at launch, and to be honest with you, I'm fine with it.
yeah, I mean, it's turned out to be fine. Right?
Yeah.
I haven't really had any issues with the server or anything.
No, I've definitely not had any issues. I've
I
had
mean,
a shit
obviously,
ton of
there's
fun.
some people that are in the servers that are gonna be like, not great.
Well, that's just
But I
with
mean,
every
that's gonna
MMO.
be
You're gonna have shitters, but thank
yeah.
God this game has a mute, and it also has a block, so you don't have to deal with those players as much as you would on other MMOs. But it's kind of. Mhm.
When speaking about like toxicity stuff, what we were just speaking about, it reminded me of earlier when I told that dude to suck my flaccid penis. And that reminded me of another complaint I have. Stop giving everybody the same quest to hunt the same
Uh,
animal and skin the same animal in the same place and spawning the animals one every 5 minutes.
yeah,
Please.
no. So something that definitely needs to change with New World, I will agree with that, is if there is a certain amount of people in an area, you need to increase the spawn rates, um, depending on how many people are in that area at that time. That sounds kind of ridiculous to code, So I do get the "oh, you're asking too much" argument, but at the same time, there is sometimes or just make spawns fucking ridiculous at that point. Because
Yeah, I'd rather have that.
I'd rather have too many attacking me and I'm getting fucked up because of it than not being able to continue a quest line because of the fact that there's no enemy. There is no specific enemy because
Get
everybody's having to kill it.
get this as an example, okay? I commonly get the same quest to go to a specific area, kill 3 bison, and skin 3 bison. Okay. Now, if I go over there and there's at the time like it's like the area is pretty dead, I can get it done pretty quickly. Okay. If I go over there and there is 10 other people doing this quest, it could take easily half an hour to kill
Longer,
3 animals and skin them.
way longer than
And
that.
it leads into this whole thing where it's a race first of all, I could have this whole problem solved very easily right now with this solution. I'll tell you in a second. But
Okay.
it leads into a race where everyone is like, oh, that bison just died. And then they all run after it, and whoever gets to it first gets it. Okay, easy solution for this. Any person that was part of killing that animal can separately skin it.
Yeah, because other MMOs have that mechanic, don't they?
Yeah, there's a bunch of like if you do a uh well, I guess you kind of do that here also. So they just like pick and choose when to do it in here. Like for example, in they call the like dungeons and this expeditions, right?
Expeditions.
So if you do the expedition in this, um, like everybody gets their own separate stuff to drop, right? So like, why can't we do the same thing with the freaking animals and shit, bro?
Yeah,
Like, it just makes the quest unnecessarily long for
yep.
everyone trying to do it.
I couldn't agree more with that, to be honest with you.
And it's the same. It's worse actually with bosses because some of the boss quests, it's like go to this specific location,
And there's
kill
like
this boss,
50 people camping it.
and yeah, there will be like 20 people at a time that have that quest to go kill that boss in that area. Okay, when you get over there, and they're all waiting. The boss spawns once every 5 minutes for the most part. That's pretty much every boss spawn in this game, once every 5 minutes. And then when they die, they spend another 5 minutes, right? And it will give like even if you're there the whole time, like killing the boss, like say the boss dies in 6 seconds after it spawns because it spawns in and there's so many people there, and say that you're there the whole time, like you hit the boss like twice because there's 20 people trying to kill this boss, it won't count for you as killing the boss. Like it will count for like 1 or 2 people, and everyone else it will not count as they killed the boss.
Right. And
So
then
that I
some,
mean
but
that's another.
sometimes in this game, it's in this game. It's just not in the main. Like it's not everywhere. Like in PvP quests, if you hit a wolf, if somebody on your team hits a wolf, which most of the
Oh yeah.
PvP quests, or at least in Windsward, uh, one of the
Or like
PvP quests
hunting
is
wolves.
hunting for wolves. If one of your people in your group hit
Your group
a
kills
single
one.
wolf, if your group kills it, you get a point usually for that. Sometimes it doesn't consistently work, so that's another whole ass issue. But that's
Yeah,
just
but
a thing
it
to say
works.
that that's in this game and it does work, just not consistently. And if you could make that consistent, on top of also putting it in more areas, um, at least bosses don't don't make it to where there's a single boss that you have to actually fully kill because then everybody's sitting there just having a fucking struggle time. And I know it's an MMO. It's a grindy. It's supposed to be a grindy game. It's supposed to be a game you play for hours. Um, but sometimes it's just it's not it's not what most people want to have to do. Like just sit here and just grind one thing for 2 hours nowadays.
Yeah.
Because I totally understand the frustration that some people would have with having to do that. So That's
And I
that's
know,
my thoughts on that.
uh, like Kyle, for example, had a quest to kill one of the bosses in a specific area, and for that boss, he sat there for an hour, which would be, what is that? Like 30 boss spawns in an hour, roughly.
Um, lot more than that.
If it spawns like
I
every
think it was
5
like
minutes.
I think it was about 40 something.
Wait,
And it was
not
all said
30.
and done.
I'm dumb. Hang on, I need to math now. I'm stupid.
Yeah, I'm
So
not.
it'd be two every 10 minutes. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It'd be 12. It would spawn 12 times in an hour.
It's
He
so
sat there for
fucking
an hour and
ridiculous.
it spawned 12 times, and he didn't get credit for killing it a single time while he was part of killing it. Uh,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
so it's like stuff like that, right? It's just not ideal for anything like that. Now, I think that there is also, uh, some good things that this game does. That's uh, specifically, I think, like the gameplay in general so far is pretty good. Uh, I assume that you would agree with that.
Mechanics seem to be a lot more fun than most MMOs that I've played. I've got to say I've played quite a few MMOs. This time I feel that this MMO's been a lot. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And it's been a while since I've had an MMO where I've been like, yeah, this is a lot of fun. Or it's been a while, really, in general, where I've been like, yeah, this game's fun. You know, because Warzone came out in 2019, and it is now 2021, going into 2022, and we
Ye-
haven't had a fun game since. Mind you, we have a lot of new games coming up. Battlefield being one of them. That game's probably going to be a schmacker.
hopefully at least.
Hopefully. Um, we've got for me Destiny's DLC in February. That'll be a big launch for me because, as far as I know, there's no games launching around that time, and that'll be something new to play. Um, Trying to think of all of the things that are coming up. There's quite a few games that are coming up, and I'm like, okay, I can be excited for these games. I feel like they're games that I could sit down and play for my free time and for my fucking sanity. Because if you don't have that hobby in life that you could just sit down and play a shit ton of, you're just or do a shit ton of it, um, you'll be miserable because it's not fun to not have a hobby. And my hobby is definitely gaming. And like I said, lately gaming's been boring. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that there's games that are coming out that are actually interesting, um, and I'm excited for because it's been a minute.
Another thing, kind of uh, related to that, right? Is this a game uh, doesn't require a lot of active brain power, we can say. Uh, like
I can get behind that.
if you so choose, you can literally walk around the map and hunt animals all day.
Yeah,
Like that's that
it's
can be
almost
the
like
game.
RuneScape,
Yeah, you
in
can
that
do
sense.
that until level 65 if you want to. Whatever the like yeah,
You could
or
do
you
that
can go
until the
around, you can cut
200s.
down, yeah, you can cut down trees until you're max level. You can fish until you're max level. Like you can do such mindless activities in this game. Like you don't have to do anything in depth. So like it's nice uh that you have, like a choice between that in this game, right? Like you get on this game and you're full blast all the time. So
Yeah, this game is one of those that you could kind of just sit back and have fun, do something that you want to do. You know, something relaxing. You could do that. Something PvP like you could do that. Um, and it has a little bit of everything for everyone. I feel for sure.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I keep seeing, like, when I do look in the chat, I keep seeing a lot of people that are saying they aren't a fan of the PvP experience in this game, which I personally uh, am not really like under. Like, I don't get that because I think the PvP is fine. Like, you can
Yeah,
elect when you want to or when you don't want to be enabled for PvP, so it's not like it's always on or anything like that. Like, if you don't want to fight anyone, you never have to fight anyone in this game. Like, it's not like it's required at all.
right.
Um, and also on top of that, I think it works pretty well. The only thing I would say that isn't great about it is that uh, it's like level based. So if you're level 25 trying to fight level 50, you're 99 times out of 100 going to lose just because you're half their level.
Yep.
Uh, but other than that, I think it's fine. Like, you can, it's just PvP.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's really just PvP in an MMO. Honestly.
and I think it works decently well. Um,
Oh yeah, it definitely it has its uh as much as people will argue it has its quote unquote issues, it's fine. You know, like it's definitely okay. It's not as bad as people put it out to be. Some people put it out to be horrible, but
yeah,
that's not
yeah.
true.
I've seen a lot of people complaining like it's the worst thing they've ever experienced in their life. I'm like, it's not that bad. Like,
Yeah,
it's pretty
pretty
okay.
good, pretty average. Um, obviously there's better, but you know, I mean, what can you do? You know, like there's
Even
always
the
gonna be better.
like the PVE stuff, I think, is even like decent. Um,
Oh yeah,
like,
could
I
not
haven't had
agree more.
problems with anything. Now, one problem that we do have that we were talking about earlier that you're going to be like, oh, as soon as I say this, with PVE is the retreat mechanic that the enemies
Oh
have.
my god, yeah. We need to talk about this Amazon games. Okay, so to give you an idea, if you move an enemy too far out of its zone that it has set up, it will do something called a retreat mechanic where you can't hurt it and it will not hurt you. It will run back to
Full
its
regen
zone,
stuff.
but it will full regen its health. Now, I have an issue with this because this mechanic doesn't work the way it's supposed to.
Yeah,
And to explain why it doesn't, to explain how it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. So, to give you an idea, say this turkey was locked in um this area, right? Oh, here's a perfect idea. Here's a boar. If I attack this boar and I bring it all the way out here, it will have a retreat mechanic, and it will continue to chase me until a
until it
certain
hits the
point, until it hits that zone, and then once it does, it will run back. My issue with the running back and
oh,
retreating
it must
mechanic,
have hit its thing. Yeah, there it goes.
there it
It's
goes.
retreat.
It is retreating, and it heals fully after it retreats. Now, my issue with this, usually this retreat mechanic will glitch out. I'm guessing that's the thing that happens with it. It will glitch out is how I'm going to describe it. And you basically it will retreat after you do a little bit of damage to it in its area, and it will heal up fully. Or sometimes after you do a shit ton of damage to something and it's in its zone because you haven't moved 2 steps from where you've been, it will retreat.
It seems to happen frequently with the corrupted portal stuff.
Corrupted portal stuff. Yeah.
like you will be standing in the corrupted portal area, which is not a very large area. So
Yeah.
you'll be standing in it. You'll get like one of the bigger enemies in the area to like half HP. It'll stand there, and it'll like stand there, and you're like, "What's it doing?" And then
Yep.
it'll pop up retreating, and it'll full HP heal and go back to where it was before.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay,
That is annoying for reasons that are very, very obvious. Um, I don't feel like I need to describe the reasons why that's so annoying, but um, it's definitely something that they need to fix that. That's just please fix that. It's annoying. We've been doing corrupted portals all day today, and it's happened way too many times today. So if we could get somebody on that, Amazon, I know we're not, a big voice in the huge online world, but it would be very pleasant if I saw a fix for that.
yeah, even if the fix is like they will not retreat unless like X thing happens, right? Like they won't retreat unless they are.
Well, here's a fucking bright idea. Make them retreat, but they don't gain their fucking health back.
Or that could work as well. Uh,
Because they're gonna respawn anyway at a different corrupted area. It's an MMO, Like we're not talking like they can retreat all they want. You know what I mean? But you just they shouldn't be able to at least gain the amount of health they do, which is full. Maybe allow them to gain maybe a third of their health back.
that is definitely the most annoying part. Like I couldn't really, like I don't really care that they're run back to wherever they were. Right?
Right.
It's just the fact that we've been spending 10 seconds dealing damage to it,
and then
get it
it's gonna
almost dead, and then it full heals back.
it's like, and it's so fucking annoying because it's like one of the pet peeves. Like you're about to kill it, you're like yes, and then it runs back, and you're like, hold on a minute, what? Why is that a thing? But it's like I said, it's just nitpick stuff that I have with this game, and that's just I feel like that's my biggest nitpick thing that I've had in a while with a game is just like that shouldn't happen. It's just annoying, but hopefully in the future here, we'll see a fix for that. Whether it's the fix that we are just talking about now, or it's just a fix that Amazon comes up with by themselves. I'm excited either way because this game has been exciting. It's been fun, which we've been playing a shit ton of it, and we've been streaming the game, or at least I have over on my Twitch channel, which is in the description of the YouTube version of the podcast. Yes, rest in peace, Dakota's PC. Eventually, he's gonna get a new PC, chat. He's gonna get a new PC. Podcast listeners, he's just waiting to sell his, I believe, sell his graphics card.
I've got a couple things I need to sell. Well, not need to, but it would severely increase how fast it happens.
And let's talk about that for a few seconds, Dakota, because why not? Are you thinking about getting a beefy PC? Are we thinking a more mid range to on the low cheap machine? What's
thinking I'm
what's
gonna
the thought?
go probably around where I was previously with
Okay.
it. So like my last PC that just fucking died was like 1400 ish. Is pretty. Uh, it was like mid range, right? Like it's not cheap, but it wasn't like the most expensive you could have gone at the time. It was just like higher end middle area, right?
Right.
So probably doing the same thing. I was looking at the NZXT
Streaming
build
PC.
stuff, right? and I was looking at the NZXT streaming build that they had on their like pre-built sites and stuff, and I was like, I'm thinking that's not too bad, right? So
Yeah, it is. That's where I got my computer. So
the one I was looking at had like a
pretty good.
30 fucking had like a 3090 or some shit, and some other stuff. It was like 1800, I think.
3090. I don't know if you're getting a 3090 for 1800. Probably a 3060.
Well, no, you can get a 3090 for this because they don't overcharge like everyone else does. That
Well, right, but
and they can get them direct from the thing. I don't remember what it had on the build. It was a 3080 or 3090. I'm pretty sure.
I'm able to get that $1,500. You're
Well, it was
getting that cheaper. Oh, 1,800.
Yeah,
That's
after
still
everything, it was like 1800 for
3090s are about 1,500. So at
yeah, I know.
retail.
That's because people are fucking.
No, not even overcharging. That's the base price. Because he goes 3080s are 900, or yeah, they're 900. 3080 Ti's are like 1,200, and then it's 1,500 for a 3090.
By the way, do you see what I'm talking about with the flamethrower thing, bro?
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm roasting and toasting everyone, and they just stay on fire.
I'm waiting for these fucking guys to show an example of what we were talking about earlier, where they just start retreating.
Oh no, he's not. He just stood still for a second. I thought he was about to retreat.
I think I'm about to get this one to do it. Oh nope, you completed it.
You're not.
Cool.
I finished the thing.
That or here's another idea: make the edges of the corrupted portal. If that's the edge of it, then make that edge like instant, like you know that hey, that's the edge of that portal. You're if you go any farther with him, you're gonna get the retreat mechanic, because if that's the case, then the portals like smoke and stuff is not the full area of the actual event, and that in itself I have an issue with, because it's kind of like, you know,
yeah, it's really actually kind of annoying. You can't see like more than 10 feet in front of you, and
you don't know, like you don't know how far. Like look at these guys. These guys are all the way out here on top of this fucking rock. How are you supposed to? Oh, there it is. There it is. So this is, I'm in the smoke, right here, right? But that guy retreated. These two are retreating. So that's where I'm like, okay, so where the hell is the actual line at for the retreat mechanic?
There's a like one of the actual big corrupted portals over on this side. And those ones seem to do it worse with like the actual larger bosses and stuff.
Oh, for sure. They have it worse because they just there's so many more enemies in these ones that the game just freaks the fuck out. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's just that mechanic itself is just, it needs to be fixed for sure.
It's a dude just sent me a group invite.
Yeah, he sent me one too. I'm gonna decline it, buddy. I'm sorry. But yeah, is there? What else has been going on in the world, man? Me and you have been playing so much fucking New World that we've been little gremlins lately.
I honestly, like, I really don't know. I haven't really been paying too much attention. I mean, the most notable thing I could tell you that's happened, just because I've seen it like all over the place, is the this whole shit with fucking Brian Laundrie and shit.
That. Do you think he's still alive?
Still alive?
Yeah. Some people think he's dead.
There's a good old Gabby, I think her name is definitely not. They found her body.
Well, no shit.
So, now, I'd say that if you're a person that thinks he didn't kill her, you're probably a psychopath, because I see no other way for her to be killed that wasn't him doing it.
So
He literally,
gruesomely.
bro, he drove back home in their van without her. Like, you think she got murdered and he was like, all right, I'm not going to say anything about someone else murdering her. I'm just going to drive home in our van.
Right.
Bro, that's not, no, that's not what you would do.
I don't know, man. That's that whole situation. When I heard about that, I don't look at social media like that anymore. So when I first saw that, I was like, yo, this situation is kind of crazy, you know? And then when I heard that Dog the Bounty Hunter was getting in on it, I was like, okay, now here comes where everybody on the internet memes it. Also, can you see why I just fucking died?
Bro. I'm talking instant death.
I did not stand a chance. But yeah, that whole situation is pretty interesting. I don't know too much, like all the details on it, but I've heard it, and I've people have not been able to stop talking about it, and I find it. I do find stuff like that interesting for sure. I find like how, you know, my thing is what happens if Dog the Bounty Hunter finds him before the FBI does? Because, dude, can you imagine the outcry that's gonna cause?
He went to the dude's parents' house, and he was talking to them, asking them if they had any idea where he might have gone. And one of his reasonings for like going there and asking, because people have been like criticizing the fact that he's done it or whatever, he's like, well, I'd rather him get found and not murdered and brought back than found and killed by the police, because like, you know, they assume that he fucking killed her or whatever, and like maybe he'll like run and then get killed by them or something. But if he finds him, then he's not gonna kill him, he's just gonna capture him or whatever. And it's like, really, that's your reasoning there?
No, that's all publicity. My boy Dog was looking for some publicity, which I can't deny. He's
Can't blame him, bro. When's the last time you heard about him other than this?
The last time I heard about him was his wife died. And then there was some speculation that I guess he was like, I don't know if it was homophobic or racist. I don't know. It was one of the two.
Ooh.
There was some talk about it a while ago, but it kind of disappeared. I don't know if it just got proven wrong.
I have no idea. I've never heard about it. That's the first time I heard it.
Yeah, I heard about it a while ago through an article, which you obviously, to be honest with you probably shouldn't trust articles anyway nowadays. But yeah, I heard about that shit and I was like, huh.
It definitely depends on what they are.
Yeah, it depends on who's writing it. I don't know, because most articles are pretty shit too. Most of them are just shit written.
Yeah, most of them really are about like I see so many clickbait like titles in actual news that I'm like, how is this like news?
Yeah, right? I know.
It's like,
that's fucking crazy.
It's like Joe Biden said immigrants are more important than Americans. Figure out all the facts here. And then you like read the article and it's like, Joe Biden said that he wants more immigration in America because diversity helps all people. And you're like, really? You wrote that title for this article off of that?
The article, right. You just like, pulled that out of your ass.
It's like, clearly that is not what he said.
Right. And like I've said, you know, I love being on the sidelines of it and just listening to it because it's always interesting to me. I think that the Brian, what's his last name? Brian.
It's Laundrie.
Laundrie.
I think you pronounce it laundry.
Laundry. Yeah, he's his situation is pretty interesting to me. I think another situation though that I thought you were gonna bring up is all the new stuff that came out on Activision, which if you guys remember, it was a very big topic at the beginning of our show,
Yeah,
our
that's when it
podcast
first
show.
dropped
Yeah, that
initially.
was when it first dropped, and it was very heavily talked about in the media. It died very quickly, and then it sparked
Yeah,
again, I'd say around the same time this game came out, to be quite honest with you.
yeah. Some more stuff started happening with it.
Yeah,
So
so I guess some more
more
people at
people
Blizzard
quit.
stepped down,
Some more
and
people got they got sued by a different department in
yeah,
the California government. Don't remember which one. Basically for the same thing as the initial one that they had.
yep.
Uh, they were, I think they settled that one though already because it wasn't as like in depth of a thing. Uh, I see your brother would like to talk about Activision.
I'm muting myself on the podcast so I couldn't hear him talk.
uh, but yeah, I mean, just more people quitting, more stuff coming out about like some other things that they were supposedly doing. I think that the other lawsuit stated that they were like uh, they were threatening their workers like to not go
Speak out
to
against this.
yeah, to not be able to like uh, speak out and stuff like that. And apparently, at one point, they were supposed to like send out like emails and stuff to their workers, letting them know about like new resources and stuff that they were legally required to make based off of an older lawsuit that they had. And I guess they didn't. The newer lawsuit was claiming that they didn't do that. Uh, to which, of course, they claimed that they did. So, yeah, who knows what's actually happening now, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
we knew that it
it's a
was a problem
shitstorm.
when it came out, but now it's just devolving into like way more, and it's way worse than
Serious.
most people thought that it was gonna be.
It's way more serious now. Like I think we could all agree that evolved into something because I personally thought I was like, okay, so maybe like one worker had this issue and it was fucked for sure, but you know it was only one person. No, this sounds like it's like this is legit a company
Yeah,
wide issue. Like this is
yeah, and it's not even just like one office anywhere. It's like
yeah,
legitimately.
it's multiple offices in Activision throughout throughout the whole company of Blizzard plus Activision. Sorry, I forgot that they are both the same company now.
Yeah,
Um,
Activision. Yeah.
and it's had its issues. So hopefully we hear more about it because it's gotten spicy as far as
You know,
I last saw.
entirely random, not really related at all to this. But I just realized that the King Arthur guy that we've been running around with, who's been inviting us to a group, is the leader of a faction, and his faction's name is Kingdom of Camelot.
Oh my god,
So he is literally role playing King Arthur.
King Arthur, nice. That is an MMO for you. To be honest, actually, that's MMO players. They go hard, bro. When they lose, they whine a lot. When they win, they brag way too much than they already really should have the room to.
That is also
It's
true.
crazy.
I feel like it's a lot of games, not just
Yeah,
specific.
there's a couple of games where it's not as bad as it used to be.
Bro, play a few games of League of Legends. Terrible.
Well, that's League of Legends. You see, I don't even know if you could put League in a whole. You could put League in its own conversation when it comes to judging it as a video game and what the community is capable of for League. That and Dota, those two communities, bro. I've never seen two communities that are so dedicated on tearing each other apart. Like this is they're born on it.
The best part is that with most games, how it works out is either the people are toxic like to other players in the game, or they're toxic to the company that makes the game. Normally it leans towards one side or the other, right? And see, now with League, you get the best of both worlds. Everyone on that game hates the company, and everyone on that game hates each other.
Well, and here's my favorite part: League and Dota players hate each other, so they add a whole different aspect of hate. Like there's those two types of hate, and that's where I say they evolve those two, because if you put a Dota player and a League player in the same call, dude, there's gonna be nothing but arguments, fights. They're gonna be tearing at each other's heads. It's just not gonna be good.
I've seen kind of something similar happening in the chat here. Not very often, but sometimes I'll see it. Someone in the chat, like whether they're trolling or they actually mean it, whatever, in the New World chat will be like, "This game is a meh MMO. It's like a 4 out of 10 at best. ESO better," or something like that, right? And it's like, okay, well, you're playing the game.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy. People will bitch, and I'm no, I'm not innocent to it. Sometimes I'll throw in shit game, into my mix of words when I'm playing one.
Oh yeah,
but it's usually out of just anger. If I actually think,
yeah, I've called it shit a couple times, just because my fucking class keeps disappearing and shit.
If you were to actually come up to me and be like, yeah, do you actually think it's shit? I'd be like, no. Like, this game's fun as fuck. But in the moment, I'm pissed off at it. If I'm actually pissed off at a game and I'm like, yeah, shit game, and I'm not playing it, that means that game's probably actually shit. To me, at least. It's just
Destiny 2.
No, I actually still play that game. I played it this weekend when queues were really bad. Dakota won't give it another chance. Actually, Dakota, let's settle this. How many? Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How many likes on TikTok? If I make a TikTok saying I have a friend that won't touch Destiny 2, but if I get a certain amount of likes, he said he will give it a try for a day.
Fuck, what is the...
You went to go look at my followers.
No, I went to go look at how many likes that one video you posted has. 85, including one from me.
Be reasonable.
20.
20 likes? 20 likes, chat. That's what we chat. God damn it, I've been streaming way too much. That's how many likes we gotta get on TikTok. So if you guys want to see Dakota try out Destiny 2 again, which I would personally love to see him try out Destiny 2 again.
No, I bet you would, pal.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try. I doubt we'll be able to hit it, but you know what? It's out there. So
yeah, bro. Link the TikTok name, bro. What's the TikTok name?
TikTok.
Your TikTok. What's your TikTok name, bro?
Oh, my TikTok name. My TikTok name is it FPS Ghost? Let's have a look here. Let's have a quick look on
Ghostly.
It might be. It is FPS Ghostly with one Y, all lowercase, no space, FPS, and then Ghostly with LY. So make sure you guys go and like that. Hopefully we can get Dakota to come back to the game at least one more time to see if we can get him hooked on it. Like I'm again hooked on it. Because I'm playing both MMOs, baby. I'm out here. You know how it be.
The hobby.
Exactly. We out here grinding. But
Hobby.
yeah, man, that we covered quite a bit in this episode, and I can't think of another thing that we can really sit down and cover. Why is Call of Duty trending on Twitter right now? Let's have a look here. Oh, Apathy retired. That's why. That was a good professional player, man.
Oh no.
He will be missed in the professional world. Shit is trending on Twitter.
Shit?
Yeah.
Like the word shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's trending by 1.07 million tweets.
Jesus. What? Why? What are they tweeting about it?
Apparently it's politic related. Apparently some senator was ignoring immigrants. Questioned by a Sinema was respectfully questioned by a DACA recipient while on her way back to DC. The disrespectful and dismissive way the senator treats a member of the public really shows that she does not think regular people deserve the time of day. Well, you know, I mean, that is government for you.
Speaking of which, I don't know why I just said that. That has nothing to do with anything you just said. We were just talking about Twitter and stuff, and it reminded me. Facebook did confirm that all of its shit was down earlier when I said that Facebook and Instagram weren't working.
Yeah, they also FaZe Clan tweeted it out, and I found out from them. They were like, "Yeah, it's not working."
Don't know why, but it sure was not.
To be honest with you, we're really surprised.
What?
Really surprised that out of everything, to be honest with you, none of them are really susceptible. What's that word?
Susceptible?
Yeah, susceptible to
like
that type of issue. To that as well. That's a whole other topic, you know? Twitter gets hacked, everybody goes nuts. Instagram gets hacked, everybody goes nuts. Listen, if you were to hack me, you are not getting anything valuable. I promise you, okay? I am a broke I'm a young adult that is completely broke, right? As most of us are. Like, if you think you hack me, you get my password to say, Twitter, which,
yeah,
by the way,
my Twitter account.
By the way, my Twitter account is different from all my other passwords. I have it written down with a in my notes. I have a notepad somewhere where I write down all my passwords. But besides that fact, if you are to hack my Twitter, you are getting quite literally nothing from me. Like, you really aren't. And even if you were to get from my Twitter somehow, you were able to get my Gmail password, so on and so forth, my banking information, like I said, I'm completely fucking broke. So good luck buying anything with it.
Hey, bro, I'm about to be even more broke than I am because I've got to pay fucking school somebody.
Oh yeah, that's right. You gotta find
fuck them, by the way. I hate them still for that dumbass fucking school. And secondly, the bills for this month will be due in like around the 12th ish. So I'm gonna be even broker than I am now. Plus, when I had COVID, I couldn't work for 2 weeks, so I lost a whole paycheck.
Make like a fucking GoFundMe for the podcast.
Bro, just make a GoFundMe for my fucking life. It sucks. My fucking computer explodes. I get COVID. I can't work for 2 weeks. I lose a whole paycheck. I'm fucking.
Yeah.
I drive a fucking truck almost as old as me, so when I fill it up, it takes $80 fucking dollars.
Oh Oh my
Especially with
god.
gas now, it's fucking $3.50 for a fucking gallon.
Oh my god. That was awesome. Make a GoFundMe for my life. I felt that, to be honest with you. Dude, maybe that's something we do, bro. Maybe we create a GoFundMe.
Yeah, but no one's gonna freaking fund it. Bro, you know what I was doing earlier though? Last night I watched podcast with fucking Ethan Klein and Hassan Piker. I watched the first episode of the podcast they made together, and they were talking about how easy it is to scam people on like Indiegogo and Kickstarter and shit. And I was like, bro, don't give me ideas. I will go
Oh
on
my
there and I will
god.
make something, and I'll be like, fund my new invention, the fucking the pizza cutter 9000 or something, where it's like a fucking like, oh, you're making a DiGiorno pizza at home? I've got an automatic pizza cutter that will cut your pizza for you. And then I'm gonna put like a thing on there of like, I want $2 million, and then watch everyone fucking raise $2 million for that stupid fucking thing, and then I'm just like, yee, and I take it all.
I'm pretty sure that's stealing, isn't it?
Technically that would be illegal, yes, but I mean, it wouldn't be stealing, it would be fraud. But
That too.
I mean, I guess in a way it would be stealing, but again, those websites basically allow that to happen because they don't guarantee that the thing that you give money for will happen.
Down the wrong pipe. I tried to get a drink of water. Fuck.
You turn it into me, bro?
You're old. Get the fucking hiccups now, bro. I'm falling apart. Oh man, I think we've rambled long enough for this podcast episode. I'm watching
Yeah, I
Dakota.
mean, how long has the rambling been so far? Or like an hour? Something?
Hour 20.
Ah, that's not too bad, you know. Normally we ramble for somewhere between an hour 20 and 2 hours.
Yeah.
Whether
gotta
it be
do-
something useful or just random shit.
I'm telling you, bro. I gotta go down to this edible shop and fucking see what I can do. See what they can get me. Fucking hiccups.
See what they can get you, bro. Ooh,
I don't want some strong shit for the podcast.
the way you said that sounded like it was fucking like like you're going on Pimp My Ride or something. I'm gonna see what they can give me.
Oh my god, that show.
They
it
don't
come
make
out,
that
they-
anymore, do they?
No, because they turned out to be like scamming people, didn't they?
I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, I heard something
But-
about scamming. That's like that show where they used to tear people's houses down and rebuild them. And they took that show down for a while. And they just brought it back this year. But they don't tear houses down anymore. They just redo the inside of it. Oh,
No, I've
fuck.
seen a bunch of
Shit.
shows where they do that. I don't remember any show where they tore
Okay,
houses down and rebuilt them.
Makeover. That's
But yeah, I mean,
hiccups.
I'd say that we've rambled a decent amount. I would agree with you
I
there.
have two. Give me a second. Let me take a drink of this.
We ramble to the void, and the void says nothing back. But hey, you know what?
Oh, they
It's all
can say
for fun.
something back if they want to in the YouTube comments. The
YouTube
video.
comment,
If you want to say something back to us, you
hit
know,
this up on fucking
YouTube, in the
Twitter.
comments. We don't really
I
have a
think
Twitter. We
my
have our
Twitter
separate Twitter.
Demo Dakota. Yeah.
Eventually, if we actually get a follow, we should probably create a Twitter for this account.
Yeah, well, that's a different thing entirely. I feel like there's a level of like internet fame you need to be before you make a dedicated Twitter account.
Oh no shit. But I'm just saying, like, eventually we'll have to do that. Because I don't see us stopping this anytime soon. This has been
Oh
fucking
yeah, I mean, there's no reason to. It's just
amazingly fun.
whether or not it gets to that point or not. I mean, the
Right.
whole point of starting this was just to do it for fun. So
Yeah, and I also want to start it to kind of like share our opinions on shit. Because I feel like we have interesting opinions and funny topics that we usually talk amongst ourselves. But that's why I said we really should do an episode where, like, you know, we're all kind of out of it. You know what I mean? And we're all just talking amongst ourselves. That'd be
but
that'd be pretty funny.
you know what we keep doing right now?
What?
You keep doing the thing where you like go visit like your grandma or whatever, and you go to leave, and then like you're standing by the door, and before you go to leave, you're like, "Oh, by the way, blah blah blah," and then you stand by the door and talk for 5 more minutes, and then you hug your grandma, and then you go to leave again, and then you end up talking for another 5 minutes, and you're like, I really should leave. And
It's
then
so
you talk for another
addicting.
2 minutes. That's what we keep doing. We keep going, we've rambled for a while, and we should probably stop now, huh? And then
Well,
we're like,
it's
but
addicting, bro. Like, I know you obviously have some shit to do tonight before you go to bed, because I heard you and your loved one exchanging talk about us recording the podcast.
man, this is some good explanation going on right there.
Okay, him and his girlfriend. I don't think it wasn't really an argument. I don't think, but they were like talking about how we record the podcast, and sometimes it
She
goes on
told
for
me
2 hours.
it was gonna take 2 hours, and I said it was gonna take 2 hours, and then fucking whatever, you know, women.
Well, to be honest, to be honest with you, I mean, usually podcasts do take that long. Just we don't usually like to sit there, 2-3 hours. We usually don't have the time for that either, but sometimes we do. And I plan to eventually have a couple of podcasts where we have a couple where we just set aside a couple of hours, just
Bro,
straight bullshit.
believe me, I would fucking bullshit a podcast for the entire day if it was like
Yeah.
actually like what we were doing is like any form of job or anything, right? Like if I didn't have to like do other things in my life, like if we got, say for example, we got to a decent level where we have like sponsorships and shit like that. I'm not talking like Joe Rogan levels where Spotify buys him for fucking $150 million or some shit, but
Right.
somewhere where we can like live the normal life that we're living off of like podcast sponsorship or something like that, right? Like then best to believe at that point in time this thing will be infinitely better than it could be right now, because
Oh yeah.
we would have infinite time to dump into it and like resources farther than what we have now. So I mean,
Yeah, we're
obviously
just
this
a
is all,
couple of dudes just sitting here, We're
yeah,
just a couple of dudes
literally
sitting here
sitting there.
bullshitting right
I'm
now.
using a computer from fucking 2016 right now to play a game that just came out this fucking year. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
I
if
mean,
if it was to ever go that far, obviously, we dedicate more time into it. We put more content out for sure. But it's just right now it's just not possible with all of us having, actual lives.
yeah.
So
I feel like it would also be pretty fun to have like actual like guests and stuff.
oh
But
yeah, it would be. Like I said, if me and you could probably have one person, like if I could have a person, it'd probably be fucking Posty.
bro, I'd love to talk to Post Malone, bro.
If we could have somebody, it'd either be Posty or I want to like a comedian that I really like, um Bert Kreischer. Dude, he's a vibe.
Oh yeah, he added an N into his name at some point.
Wait, is it? There's not an N in there.
No, it's just Kreischer.
Oh, it's just Kreischer. Okay. I
Oh,
didn't know
goodness.
that. Okay, listen. I only know him by Bert. Okay, it's because I watch all of his podcasts and I fucking love it.
Yeah, he's got a podcast with Tom Segura.
Yeah, Tom Segura and him are a fucking treat to watch. I wish that they
I
had
don't
more shit.
watch the actual like whole podcast or anything, but I'll
He'd
see
be
like
so
some clips of
fun.
that stuff occasionally. And
He'd
I'm
be
like,
so fun to
man,
talk to.
I feel like a lot of those people would be fun to talk to. That
But I just feel like him himself would just be a straight fucking vibe.
like anyone that has toured around like the world and gone to a bunch of different places, done a bunch of different stuff. I feel like they'd be fun to talk to.
Yeah, I
Like
would
anyone
actually,
in that.
if I could, like, if we ever do get to that point where we could have celebrities on, my main point would be trying to ask questions that are so weird, different, and not been asked before for them. Like that'd be my goal. You know,
Yeah,
we ask the questions that just nobody else would fucking ask. You know,
I wouldn't like to ask the same things that they get asked
right?
anywhere else. That would just be boring.
Like we could do our would you rather questions, but it would be like on a whole different level. Like, would you raw dog a fucking horse or something?
What the fuck?
It's like-
Yo, Post Malone, would you rather raw dog a horse or eat fucking ketchup only for a year?
No, like, but that's a question you'll never fucking hear. You know,
The next day after the release of that podcast, he's canceled for being a fucking furry.
you think he won't what you think he'd hate eating ketchup that much for a whole ass year?
Bro, I'm just saying, if you gave me the option, I think I'd rather fucking raw dog the horse than fucking
Yeah,
eat ketchup for a year, bro.
I don't know, bro. That's a tough one, you know. Like, is ketchup like is it lunch, breakfast, and dinner? Like,
Yeah, so bro,
can I
anytime
put stuff
you
in
feel
it?
hungry, anytime you want to eat, you have to eat. You have to grab a ketchup bottle and squirt it into your mouth.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Yeah, I might be with you on that, to be honest with you. Yeah, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it just like if we could ask the deep questions in a sense like that, where you go for something that's like super serious and then we're non fucking serious. Because I don't want it to all be video games, right? Like we talk about video games right now because it's our main hobby, but like we do other shit other than video games, you know. Like we have lives, we work, you know. We have coworkers that piss us off. We have shit that happens that's super hilarious
Talking about,
in
bro,
the moment time being.
we're gamers. We don't have lives.
Okay, well, bro, I was telling Dakota before we end this,
Oh,
legit
I bet.
end this. I was telling Dakota about my day today. This morning, I was going grocery shopping, and the power went out in the grocery store, and this dude just randomly to piss off his wife, just screamed, "Touch me there," because it was pitch fucking black. You couldn't see shit. He just goes, "Don't touch me there," and she goes, "Shut the fuck up." That's like, you couldn't stop laughing. Oh man, I felt so bad because I was laughing so damn hard, but I was like, oh.
We both died. Fitting end to the podcast.
Fitting
We
end
both
to the
died.
podcast. All right, we appreciate everybody that comes out and listens to the podcast. If you guys want to listen to it, it's up on Spotify at The Boys Experience or on YouTube. We upload it with a video of gameplay of us just talking over it, which you can find at youtube.com/The Boys Experience. Actually, I don't know if you can find it like that. Just search up The Boys Experience on YouTube, and it should pop up right there. You can also find us on Anchor at The Boys Experience as well. So For everybody that's out there listening, we appreciate you. We'll have another episode up next week for you guys, and we'll talk to you guys in the next episode.